Hello, everybody, and welcome to Not Your Average Therapy streaming on a Monday afternoon. I am so excited. I am thrilled to announce that I have the one and only legendary, St. Louis legendary Guy Torry with me today.
Hey, what's happening? It's Guy Torry.
How
What's
are you?
going on?
How are you today?
I'm good. I'm a little jet lagged, but I'm good. I'm still bring the energy, bring that funk.
I know that's right. So I want to start out by saying congratulations on the Fat Tuesdays Era of Hip Hop streaming on Amazon Prime. That is an amazing documentary. I mean, the reviews from Rotten Tomatoes are 100%. I want to give you your flowers while you're here, King.
I,
Congratulations.
I appreciate that. It's funny because I didn't even know that getting 100% of Rotten Tomatoes was like rare. Someone told me, and I was like, "Oh, that's not like that doesn't happen all the time." And they were like, "No one gets 100% of Rotten Tomatoes." I was like, "Wow, I felt like it won the Oscar."
And you should. And you should. I want you to get on this ride with me real quick. Because Fat Tuesdays is also legendary like yourself, right? You ready to get on this ride with me?
Let's go. I'm strapping in. I was gonna say strapping up, but that's not good. That's a different thing. I'm strapping in. Let's go. I've got my seatbelt on. No
Fat
straps
Tuesdays.
here.
Fat Tuesdays, 1995, at the Comedy Store, in the Belly Room.
Yeah.
And then 2023, today on Amazon Prime. Did you ever see it? Just
No,
full circle.
I didn't. What's so funny is it's like, I just want to help comedians out. I just want to help comedians get seen. I was already on getting put on in LA in the industry, and I saw a lack of representation of industry in the Black community, looking at Black talent. So I wanted to just help do what I can, and I did, not knowing that it was going to turn into what it's turned into. I'm so grateful and humbled by it.
I really admire that because you said in your documentary on Amazon Prime that you didn't know what the hell you was doing. In fact, this is what cracked me up, right? Personally, you said that your promoter was a male stripper.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I was living with my brother Joe at the time, and he had a frat brother who moved from St. Louis, Cherry Papa, who moved from St. Louis to LA, and so we were all staying in the same townhouse. We had a split level townhouse. So, I knew he was a stripper. I said, I want to get people out to the spot. So I'm passing out flyers as they was putting dollars in his G-string. He was passing out flyers. So I was like, look, I was trying to promote any way I can. There was no social media back then. I had no money for TV or advertising budget. It was just word of mouth. And I know if I had a beautiful staff, the guys would come, right? And I know if women were in the audience, the guys would come. So it was like, okay, you get the women there, you get the guys there. I just wanted people in the audience, man. And I know you attract you attract bees with honey.
I know that's right. And in 9 months, it's kind of crazy how that happened, right? 9 months in the belly, and then you burst out that
Right.
bitch.
Exactly. I was tripping off of that because it's like, wow, I spent 9 months in the belly, just like a child, and it gave me 9 months to really kind of figure it out. So that's why I know this whole Fat Tuesday thing was an assignment from God, because the way it happened, I had only been in the game for 3 years, in comedy for 3 years. I was new to LA. It's LA. It's Hollywood. It's one of the biggest places and industries you could be in. And for someone to come from St. Louis, not knowing the city, 3 years in the comedy game, never had run a business before, and to have that happen that way was definitely divine intervention. And just the 9 months part, it gave me 9 months to figure it out, 9 months to grow it, 9 months to make it bigger. Because once I moved to the main room, from the 90-seat room to the 400-seat room, man, I was already kind of in motion, and familiar with it, and people knew what it was.
That's such a beautiful story, man. Like you said, divine, divine, divine. Let's talk about your background, right? Do I see Kirkwood? Are those yours?
Oh yeah, yeah. You know,
Those-
I'm in the loo. I'm in my sister's basement right now doing this because I just flew in from the airport and came straight here, and I'm trying to find the best spot in her house to do this interview in the lighting, and this is the best spot. And I just happen to have, a niece and nephew who are just bomb at sports. So yeah, they went to Kirkwood. She teaches and coach at Kirkwoods, but these are all their trophies. My trophies wouldn't fit on here because I had way too many from Vision and Performing Arts and Southwest High School. But no, they were soccer, basketball, track, and they won a lot of medals. And my sister being a head track coach at Kirkwood for probably over 30 years now. Some of these are her trophies and medals as well. And she's a Mizzou grad, so she ran track at Mizzou. So some of her Mizzou stuff is up here too.
That's awesome. So your sister and I have something in common. Everybody knows me from track. I'm a Berkeley track veteran.
You Berkeley.
You tell.
You Berkeley. Let me tell you about Berkeley. So I'm a class of '87, right? Way before your time. I ran track at Vision Performing Arts.
Okay.
And we used to run against Ricky Stovall and them at Berkeley. Berkeley was intimidating because you go to track meets and every other school would have, VAP boys track or Vashon boys track or Southwest boys track. But Berkeley on the back of their jackets was Berkeley men's track. And right as a kid, that was just intimidating, just reading Berkeley men's track. We're like, everybody else got boys on the back of their stuff. And who are these men walking in here? But Berkeley was always a great track team, man. Man, we had some battles against not Kirkwood. We pushed over there. We had a lot of battles against Berkeley at Vision of Performing Arts. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember we ran against. When we got. I'm class of 06. So when we got there, we called y'all back.
Ooh, baby.
We called y'all back.
I think when you ran track, it was 100 meters. When I ran track, it was 100 yard dash. We were still in yards when I ran. Y'all was running in meters by the time you started running track.
I think we caught it both.
I was in Jamaica a couple of years ago, and I met Usain Bolt, right? And I was joking with him. I said, "Come on, man, I beat you in a 100-yard dash." He said, "You said yards." he started clowning me.
Oh man, so that's funny you brought that up because I know you heard about with Kevin when he tries to race a professional. Just stand down.
Oh yeah.
Stand down.
Yeah. No, I was definitely joking with him. This is only 3 years ago, and I'm 54, so I couldn't beat Zona me right now.
So I want to get back into Fat Tuesdays real quick, trying to just the beginning. And I want to know, because your Fat Tuesdays wasn't based off Mardi Gras, it wasn't based off of New Orleans. It was based off of you trying to get a sponsorship from Fat Form.
Yes, and what's funny is because later when you compare it to FAT Fat Tuesdays, Mardi Gras, and everything, Fat Tuesdays meant festive, it meant fun, it meant celebration. And that's exactly what my Fat Tuesdays, PHAT, is, a celebration of comedy, fun, light and upbeat. But yeah, it did start off with me wanting to get a deal from Fat Farm. Because at the time, Russell Simmons was my manager. Brillstein Gray, he's the management company. And I thought I'd just get some free gear. But it was a young lady who actually came up with the name Fat Tuesdays. I had these stupid names, being the genius that women are. She said, it's called Fat Tuesdays. I was like, yep, oh yeah.
That is so awesome. So did you ever? I didn't know he was your manager. So you did end up landing that sponsorship then, right?
I didn't need it. I mean, if ever I wanted anything, I could go to the store that was in New York, and the Fat Farm store in New York, and pick up some items. So he was always good at that. Or sometimes you can get in some items, you get 60% off, whatever. It's good.
Okay.
A lot of Fat Farm gear.
I was definitely wondering what happened with that. So your work ethic in the game, I mean, you came from St. Louis to LA. Just tunnel vision. I heard on the documentary, right, that after you saw Janet Jackson boob fall out at a photo shoot, you then turned down the barbecue that she invited you to. Why?
You know what? It was. I got tired of living with my brother. You know, no knock on my brothers. Just like two grown men don't need to be living together. And at that time, I was just like, I want my own. And the only way I was gonna get my own is if I was going to, have something to make some decent money. So I was focused on stand up, focused on going to comedy clubs or whatever place that had a mic and at least two people tell jokes every night. And at the time when she was having that party, invited Joe, and Joe said, he was like, yo, make sure you tell Guy, and I was like, yo, y'all already made it. Y'all on y'all way. I'm trying to get there because it's all these Hollywood parties and stuff. No Diddy parties, but all the Hollywood parties, were cool, but I had nothing to sell. People always say, oh, go network. But what am I networking with? I hadn't done anything. So I'd rather spend that time working on my craft. So once I do get put on, then I can have something to talk about. Oh, I'm a comedian. Oh, I got a show here. Oh, I'm in this TV show. Oh, I did this movie. But if you got nothing to sell, why are you there? To be honest, why are you there?
I feel that. I totally feel that. So did Joe talk you into it, or you just totally skipped out?
Go. I had that night that it was. I had 3 shows at different spots. I had written like 2 or 3 new jokes, and I'm like, I'm getting on stage, because especially at that point in your career, when someone gives you time on stage,
mm-hmm.
And you disrespect and don't show up, you may not get time. And I wasn't Guy Torry then, right? Mm-hmm. I was Joe Torry's little brother back then. Okay. So I didn't want to mess that opportunity up. Plus, I was really wanting to get these jokes out.
Mad respect. Not a lot of people would have done that. So
a lot of people hadn't done that, and that's why their careers hadn't gone anywhere. So there's some comedians who were with me that day when we got invited, and those guys, where are they now? Where are they now? So it hard work pays off, and focus and discipline and dedication, all that pays off.
Let's talk about your hard work. Let's talk about the preparation for writing your comedy, for preparing to be on stage. What does that look like? What does it look like when Guy Torry is writing his jokes and practicing? Is it in front of the mirror? Are you testing in front of your friends, your brothers? Like, who do you run it by? Talk to me about that.
It did start out in front of the mirror when I first started. You're in the mirror practicing your jokes, what facial expressions you're going to make and all that. And now it's just pretty much, I'll come up with an idea or something will pop in my head, and I'll just write down the premise. Sometimes I still write word for word, and then I'll do like a bullet point type system. Sometimes it's just in my head and I like to come out. It's just fresh on stage. It's like I'm saying it for the first time on stage. I hadn't flushed it out. I still like to prepare a lot though, because of my insecurities. But I'm self-aware, so my insecurities is actually my superpower, because it makes me focus more. It makes me work harder. So I don't use my insecurities as a weakness. I use it as my superpower.
I'm gonna steal that, because we all have insecurities. And to flip the narrative on that, to change your perspective, is powerful. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people aren't self-aware, and you gotta just know, or they won't admit that they're self-aware. I mean, you gotta know that your ish does stink sometimes, but what you gonna do about it? You know what I'm saying? None of us are perfect, but if you're aware of that, then you work hard to try to seek perfection. You'll never get there, but at least the journey is going to be the good part.
The journey, right? The journey. I heard one of your jobs was passing out scripts on Martin, and then you actually ended up. So when you ended up on Martin, did you see that coming, or did you think that you'd just be helping Martin write?
No, it's funny. I started as a PA, production assistant, gopher. For those who don't know, that's someone's. It's like a paid intern, basically. So you're running all the errands. You're doing all the stuff that no one else wants to do, right? Basically, so you're running errands. You're dropping off scripts to actors at the night when the writers are done with the script. You're restocking the refrigerator for the writers and the staff. You're going out getting lunches. You know, like say for instance, an episode of Martin when I was a PA was when they had the Martin CD player came up missing, and he had the New Jack City scene when he was going around the table with the dog. I had to go to the video store and get the VHS of New Jack City so the writers can write that scene. So that's the stuff that a PA does. You run those errands, and then you got some other errands you run that kind of like off the record, like a writer would say, "Hey, can you go pick up my dry cleaning?" That's not something we're supposed to do, but if it's a cool enough writer, and then you'll do it. There's no trip. Or Martin, say for instance, Martin, whatever latest CD came out, right? I'm dating myself. Whatever latest CD came out, Martin be like, "Hey man, go pick up that new Public Enemy, that new new edition CD, man." And I was like, "Can I get one for me?" Like, yeah, go ahead. But so it was a lot of perks of being in PA. So I started doing that. But being a comedian, I'm cracking jokes all the time, 24/7. I'm nonstop, right? So some of the writers were black. And they would, I join with them, go back and forth with them. It was all in fun. And then they started coming out of the room to get jokes for me to put in the script, because after a while, you get in the writer's room, you're pitching jokes all day, you're running out of ideas, right? So they started getting, stuff from me, and it would make the script. And then there was a writer's, and Martin used to always tell me that, man, you have time, sit in the writer's room and learn how to write, because you know how to write, you always have yourself a job. You can always write yourself into a role or whatever. So I started paying close attention to that. And there was a writer's assistant, that was working on the script. And he wasn't funny, but he had good writing structure. And he would ask me if this was funny. I'm like, no. And I say this. And we wrote the script together and submitted it. And it getting produced and aired, and probably from what I understand, what people tell me is that it's their favorite Martin, the one when he got attacked by this rat on this island when they went on this vacation, Chilligan's Island. So yeah, it's called Romantic Weekend is that episode, but they went to Chilligan's Island, and that's how the writing process started. Just starting what I was doing earlier. When writers come out of the room to get jokes from you, or you sit in the room, it's called punch up writing. So you're not writing a script, but you're pushing it up. You're adding jokes to it. So I was kind of an unofficial punch up writer.
So let me ask you this: did you write this part when you were there in the show? Tell me about this role.
Yes, no, because I was always cool, and the writers always looked out for me, and Martin always looked out for me. So to play that part, it's like, let's get Guy to do it, right? And I say part right because they let me ad lib. And that show was great for that. Martin was great for that. The writers were great for that. If you were funny, if it was funny, they're like, yo, forget what I wrote, say that. Because at the end of the day, whoever wrote that episode is going to say written by, so and so. And the audience is not going to know that I ad libbed that line and I came up with that line. So the writers are cool with it as long as it's funny and it works.
When did the crossover from stand-up happen into acting? And who influenced that? Was it Joe? Was it you? Was it your manager at the time? How did you initially get into it? I know you did music videos with Celine Dion. That's hilarious to me. How did you cross over?
Hey, don't forget Rick Ashley too. Rick the redhead kid. No, all right. So let's go back.
Okay.
When you move to LA and you're just you want to stay in the industry and you want to get some money, you want to make, I was an extra. I was an extra on Family Matters in a food cafeteria food fight scene. I was an extra on A Different World. So you just do background work, and then there was a guy who used to come to comedy clubs and he was booking music videos, and he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna be in this Celine Dion video." It paid like, I don't know, like $50-$60 a day. And back then, that's a lot of money in 1992, 93, and you got broke pockets. So yeah, you just get to hang out and just kind of have fun. You eat for free, and you get paid. So yeah, I was like, yeah, I'll do it. And I mean, that's how it started. So then once you start doing stand up, and I did Def Comedy Jam, I got ended up getting that manager, SLBG, Russell Simmons, Stan Lathan, Burstein, and Gray. So the natural thing is get you agent, get you into movies and TV. Of course, you want to act, but the way my career was done was I got the manager. The manager started trying to find an agent to pair me with, and then you start going on auditions, and then you book something, and then the ball was rolling from there.
Wow. Oh, you've had such an exciting life. Oh my goodness. It's my interview with you, so I personalized it a little bit. Tripping.
Okay.
One of my favorite movies going on. I probably wasn't supposed to be watching, but I love me some fish.
you know what's funny about that is that out of all the movies I've done, right, especially the important ones, not that wasn't important. When people say that, I laugh because it's like I did American History X, which is like serious drama. I did horrible, and then to see Trippin' is like I laugh because it was fun. It was fun, first of all. Dion Richmond and was you grew up watching Dion as Bud on the Cosby Show, and then you're in a movie with him, and then down on Faison, you watch him in Clueless, and then you're in a movie with him. But the chemistry between us was great. It was just we were bored all the time, So it was fun. I mean, they're the unselfish actors, both funny, have good timing. So working with both of those guys was just funny.
So we went from on the stage doing comedy to being a comedic actor. And now you brought up American X, so let's get into it, right?
Yeah.
Was that your first dramatic role?
Yeah. Well, on camera, because growing up in a family of 6 kids, and you got older brothers and sisters who kind of beat on you, you fake cry like to get them off for you. So that was my first dramatic acting as a kid. But no, on camera, yeah, American History X was that first role that really broke me into Hollywood as a serious actor.
And it's interesting because you said on the documentary that your stand-up got you the role that was already somebody else's. Your rawness, your vulnerability is what, at Fat Tuesdays, at the comedy club, right? I mean, at the comedy show.
Sure. Yeah, Fat Tuesdays, they came to see someone else. And then I end up going up. Well, I was hosting the night. They thought my comedy was my character was better for that particular role than the person that initially came to see. And that's how that role was created. But see, it's funny because that's why I created the room, for not just me, but for other comedians to get put on. So the fact that it happened at Fat Tuesdays was another assignment, another blessing. Nothing's by mistake. People, you just got to do the work and believe, and it's going to happen. If you're not where you think you should be, it's nobody's fault but yours. Because if you have an idea to do something that's positive, that's good, right? God put that seed in you. It's your job to tend to the garden. You have to water it. You can't blame it on the white man. You can't blame it on your spouse. Can't blame it on your parents, your upbringing. If the idea is in you and you really want to do it and you put the work in, sorry, God's going to get you there. There's no excuses for where you're not, but yourself. So instead of pointing fingers, cut off fingers and put up mirrors, and you got to put in the work. You got to do it.
We have that in common. You created Fat Tuesdays to give a platform for comedians to stand in their truth, to support the culture, and you are responsible, single-handedly responsible for so many comedians and being successful. And that's what Not Your Average Therapy is. I bring people on the show from St. Louis that are actors, that are models, that are comedians, and we showcase their talent. It's not about me. It's about giving you guys your flowers. So thank you for being here with me. And us bring, like you said, nothing happens by mistake. You know,
Nothing
we
else.
are, yeah, we have the same goal, and that's to pour into the people around us.
Well, we're servants, and that's why we're put on this earth,
Mm,
and we all have a purpose, and we all have a gift. So, in my opinion, you're given that gift, and you use that gift to serve, and you walk on your purpose, which is to glorify the Creator, who I believe in. I don't knock anyone else's faith for what makes them who they are, but mine is I stand on God. I stand on Christ
mm.
wholeheartedly. So
Amen.
and that's where all my greatness comes from, because I'm not great without God. Period.
I love that. I love that. We do have a few people, a few viewers that saying some things to collaborate with
Oh,
you.
let's do it. Let's get into it.
Do the work. She's saying doing the work. She's agreeing with what you're saying. Miss Lala Deuce said, I'm watching while I'm at work. So we appreciate you watching while you're at work. Make sure you guys, if you don't already have a ticket, grab a ticket for Tuesday. Fat Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Night only.
Yes.
Okay.
December
That's
12th.
at the Helium Comedy Club. Make sure y'all are there. Let's get back into the acting. Let's get back into the movies, because you have a legendary movie, right, that you did with some legendary actors. Martin Lawrence, you know where I'm going.
Oh, yeah.
um,
Life.
Life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy, Cicely Tyson. How?
Yeah, and it's a funny story about Cicely Tyson too. But Eddie Murphy, Martin Lawrence, Bernie Mac, Miguel Nunez, Anthony Anderson, Brent Jennings, Shabaka Hindley, Oba Babatunde. I mean, that cast alone was just incredible. Then you got Rick James. You add Rick James to it. But Cicely Tyson was in it, and she completely cut out of it, which is crazy. She got paid, but she played Eddie Murphy's mom in the movie, and I wish they would have put it in the deleted scenes in the DVD. But one day, hopefully, those scenes, especially with her, being passed on to the upper room, hopefully someone will put those deleted scenes
What
out.
is wrong with you?
What? Because the upper room, because that scene from Life is so funny. The upper room.
I know. Oh my goodness.
But yeah, so that movie is will always be special to me, because I got to work with my heroes. I got to work with some OGs, and I got to work with one of the greatest kings of comedy ever in Eddie Murphy. And to be on that set and to be there to be professional, but at the same time you're like, damn, it's Eddie Murphy. Damn, that's Cicely Tyson. Even though she didn't make the cut, Cicely Tyson. That's Martin Lawrence. I'd already worked on the Martin show, and so we already had a friendship. Eddie used to always come down to Tuesdays, so I met him. I met him before. That Bernie Mac and I were both on the Kings of Comedy tour at the same time when we were shooting Life. So it was just bomb. It was just a bomb experience that I'm sure other comedians that work at Eddie Murphy and other productions cherish those moments of being alongside Eddie.
So working with those greats, right? What was one takeaway? What was something that you learned and that you put into your work now and that you hold dear to your heart that came from maybe Bernie or Eddie or Martin?
Well, I would say Eddie, because something came from all of them, but the most important thing was Eddie Murphy and his humility, right? He first day on the set, he tells the director, let them go. Let them ad lib, let them bring to this character and that's someone who's confident in what they bring and trust us enough to do the right thing. Because a lot of time I've been on sets and the lead actor will try to hold you down, especially if they're not black and they're white. They're threatened by our blackness, they're threatened by our talent, they're threatened by our swag, and they would try to hold you back. I've been there several times on other productions. But to have Eddie Murphy tell the director to let them go with all that talent that we were bringing to production, he was iron was sharpened iron.
Mm,
And he said it back then. I'm sure it's, it may be different now, but he said that was the most fun he had on a movie set in a long time, because we were just all respectful, all cracking jokes all the time, and it was just fun. So
mm,
I would say for a giant like Eddie Murphy to trust us and tell the director to let us ad lib, do what we want to do, was major. And I would take that on with me to other productions, not be threatened by the talent around you, but use that talent around you and let them flourish to the best of their abilities. It ain't about being outshined. It's
mm,
about the entire production and delivering a good product. You ain't got time to be in your damn feelings and
mm,
being all insecure. Stand
mm.
on your talent, stand on your gift, and let everybody bring what they're gonna bring, and let them stand on theirs. And we come together like Voltron and make a damn good production. Period.
You better preach. You better preach. That viewers, I hope y'all took that in, because he said a lot. He dropped some gems, especially if you're in the entertainment field or even just the work field. Collaborate,
Yeah, yeah,
collaborate. Oh my
yeah,
goodness, we're gonna get to one more comment real quick. Fred says, "Salute to you, sis, and what up, guy? You did an interview with Fred. Fred and I are really good friends on the
yeah,
Club Sports
yeah,
Show." So he is
yeah.
saying what's up.
What up? What up?
Miss Shaughnessy, she is a local artist. She's a rapper. Life
Oh
is
wow.
still
Okay.
until to this day my favorite movies, as well as American X. He's an amazing actor. Ah, thank you, Shaughnessy.
Thank-
So American X, American History X. I'm sorry. All right, all right, all
Okay.
right. Let's talk
Appreciate
about
it. Thanks
you.
for the love, people.
Let's talk about you and Joe.
Yeah.
What are some of the, how do I'm going to make sure I say this right, misconceptions about you guys? Is there a lot of sibling rivalry going on? Like, you
I mean, I
come
think
off to be, I'm sorry, you come off to be the cool, fun, laid back brother, and Joe just look mean as fuck.
Joe's intense. Joe's intense. Joe wears his armor. You know, I always say this. Me and Joe, we do fight. Yeah, but that's my brother. And I love him. I've gone, hard in on him a few times, pause, with some of my comments and stuff, because there was some hurt there. But you know what? At the end of the day, that's family, that's blood, and it's like we're both. Our parents raised us all to be independent. Our
Mm,
parents raised us all to be leaders. And
mm,
sometimes we get two alpha males and two leaders in the same room, and one's older, one's big bro or big sis, however it is, there's going to be that tug of war, right?
mm,
And then when you're younger, you give leeway to the older sibling, but as you get older, you become a grown ass man or grown ass woman. It's like, wait a minute, I ain't little guy no more. I'm a grown ass man now, and so that comes the clash, you know, and it is what it is. I'm just going. There's L.A. on my hat, you know. It says L.A., which stands for Los Angeles, but I change it. I change it to love always, love
oh,
always. So regardless of what family may do, or friends may do, or whatever the world may do, you still, the love still has to be there. So in whatever crisis or whatever they're done, love always.
love.
Period. Just always go with that, and you will heal quicker. I hold
Mm,
grudges, so the rift is mainly on my part now, because I've forgiven, but I don't forget. Now my little punk ass just need to forget and love always. Sometimes when someone, whoever it is, or something may hurt you, you kind of, in my defense, the way I deal with it is hold a grudge. So
mm,
the grudge is my armor. The grudge is my wall. But we're not supposed to do that as Christians. So it's that balance of me letting that thing go, and love always. So that's what I've turned this LA hat into, is love always, rather than Los Angeles, which is the other city I love, but it's also the city of lost angels. So
mm,
that's why LA is so um, tough because a lot of fallen angels in Los Angeles, and you got to be careful out there. You got to put your armor on because a lot of people in LA have bad intentions. Although it's my favorite city of all time, uh, yeah, yeah, you gotta put your armor on out there. So anybody out there who plan to move to LA and want to get into the entertainment industry, have your foundation tight and have your squad tight. A squad that's rooting for you, not against you, because LA is treacherous, but it's good because it makes you better. It makes you wanna work harder. It makes you wanna if you're wired that way. If you want something for nothing, then you go out there and become a sucker like a lot of other suckers out there, or a sucky. Um, but, but if you stand on what you got and you see where you're gonna get to, then LA is a fun place. I love LA.
You know, I'm from Inglewood, baby.
Oh, in the wood,
Raised
always
in
up to no
details.
good.
I'm from Inglewood,
In the
baby.
wood.
So we
Okay.
swapped. You know, you moved there, I moved here. So
Right.
yeah,
We gonna trade places, E. Murphy. We trade places.
okay. That's
We
that's
we the
exactly
new crisscross.
a little
We the new
crisscross.
crisscross.
Let's get into some fun because right, you've been in the game for a long time. Can we talk about some crazy groupie stories? Because I know they was throwing
Me?
it at you. I know
Not
it.
me,
I
groupies. I
know
don't
it.
have me with groupies. Me? No,
Okay,
that's the
well,
other Tory. That's
what
the
about in the
better
early
looking, more buff
2000s?
Tory. Now I have some crazy road stories, but they're nothing. They're not crazy like they're not crazy like that. It is some that shoot they shot, and
Yeah.
and and sometimes it makes you question like you actually thought you had am I am I not who I think I am? You actually thought you had a shot? I mean, I'm no Denzel, but I ain't no Flavor Flav either. So so it's like sometimes some of the but I admire people for shooting their shot.
Yeah.
But some of the crazy stories is like swingers. Like after my show, part of my show, sometimes my longer set gets real sexual at the end, and
Okay.
people get turned on. A lot of lesbians have come up to me and saying that they took notes from me. Um, a lot of I get a lot of swinger white couples who invite me to party with them, and I'm like, yeah, I'm good, I'm good, and sometimes the wife be fine, but I'm like, yeah, I ain't in that, and then sometimes the wife you're like, yeah, I seen your wife, no, we ain't doing nothing, even if I was game, I ain't game, but yeah, so that's probably the craziest ones. Is the ones where I get a lot of swingers trying to get me to go party with them.
Oh, y'all heard it
Yeah.
first. On Not Your Average Therapy, he talks about the swingers.
Oh man. Yo. Oh, boo. Oh, there's just flash right in the show. They'll take the boobs out right in the show.
You ever
You
signed
know,
a titty before?
I've signed, yes, I've signed breasts, I've signed butt cheeks, I've signed inside of thighs. Oh,
Okay,
yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
right. We have to have a little
First
fun.
time, first time it ever happened was in Wichita, Kansas, Def Comedy Jam Tour. Yeah, I signed everything.
Def
Yeah.
Comedy Jam Tour, man, a legend,
Yeah.
a legend. I'm still a little starstruck that you're here. You know, it's funny because my very first comedy show that I ever went to was at the Funny Bone to see you.
Mm.
My very
Really?
first, I swear to
I hope
God.
I ain't ruin it. I hope
You
I didn't ruin it.
you are the reason I love comedy. Like
Oh,
I
wow.
if there's anything that I love stand up, if there's anything I'm going to a comedy show. I will go alone. I'm going to a comedy show. I saw Sinbad. He was amazing.
Oh,
Michael
Sinbad
Jackson
is
was here. I was there
Sinbad is a goat. Is a goat, man.
ago.
Here's the thing that I'm happy you brought that up. I'm glad you said that, and that makes me happy because I tell young comics when I'm on stage, I'm trying to give it 1,000%. Fuck 100. I'm trying to
Mm.
give you 1,000%. I may not always hit that mark, but I'm gonna give you everything I can because I tell young comics you never know who's coming to a comedy show for the first time in their life. right? And my job is to keep comedy alive, live comedy alive. So if you come to a comedy show for the first time and I suck, right? You never go to a live comedy show again, right? I feel like I'm carrying the torch for live comedy, so you can come back next week and see my brother. Go see Joe Torry. Come back the following week, go see Cedric. Or come back the next week and go see Tony Rock, or Coco Brown, or Zaynab Johnson. But we have to, as comedians, to me, we want to be a torchbearer for live stand-up comedy, so we can gain new customers. Because you're never gonna get a second chance at a first experience. So if I'm on stage and I'm doing a hell of a show, I'm giving you 1,000%. Preferably, I hope you're coming back. Like you said, you're coming back to see more comedians. So that's every comedian's, every entertainer's responsibility is to give it their all when they're on stage. Be prepared, be professional, be fun. Period.
Period. Period. Be prepared. It's crazy you said that, because my one of my final questions, leading up to one of my final questions, is there a young comedian out there that you want to take under your wing and that you want to groom and you want to show the way to?
There's a lot of young comedians out there, and I can't call all of them names because 54. But I talk to them.
Okay.
Right now I'm so focused on me reinventing the brand, reinventing my point of view, because I can't reinvent me. I can't do better than God. So I'm gonna reinvent the brand or reinvent my point of view of comedy. But I'm always willing to give advice to the younger comedians, especially the black ones. When I'm on the road and I see a comedian doing something wrong, or they're mad that the club is not booking them and they think the club is hating on them, and I see this, I said, no, it's you. You can't play a white audience. You can't play a black audience. You can't play a mixed audience. You can't play a professional audience, meaning that isn't professionals. It's you. It's your jokes. It's your style. It's how you dress. You gotta, and no one's talking to these young comedians out there on the road. I feel like as an OG, and as the son of a teacher, retired teacher, my responsibility is to teach, and whatever wisdom and knowledge I got from my OGs, pass it on to the younger, so I can preserve this wonderful craft, art, and comedy. And so I mentor all of them in a way. Fat Tuesdays was a way of mentoring all of them. Young comics come up to me who've seen it and like, man, I was so inspired. I didn't know it was like that. I went and started my own room so I can help other comedians. So that's that. I want to mentor through the projects I do. I want to mentor, not just take one, but talk to them all.
I love
that. And that's what we put here to do.
I love that. Oh, you're so amazing. You are so amazing.
Sometimes I get too deep in my conversations, but I just love this gift. I've saved the jokes for the stage. But here's the other thing I want to say too. It's so hard now with social media, meaning you said, do I want to mentor other comics and things like that? It's so that right now, comics are having to decide, especially the OGs, the right material is, are we doing this for stage, my special, or are we doing it for social media? Like when I started, I always was working for set. Now with social media and a lot of comedy clubs, they don't advertise anymore. So to get people out to our shows, we have to get followers. So now we're trying to come up with creative content for social media and creative content for the actual show. Because you don't want, what you do on social media to be the live show too. Why people come paying to see you when they saw it on your live already, right? They saw it on your social media. So now it's like the creativity is working overtime now, because you got all these different platforms, all these different mediums, and they're all different. And then you got your live show. It's just it's so chaotic right now. It's harder now than it was when I started.
Period. So many different avenues to work. You have to work. Like you said, social media, you have to work the stage, you have to work the content. You're being pulled in a lot of different directions. I totally understand that.
Man, it's much harder now than it is. It seems easier because you have social media, but a lot of the people are blowing up off of showing the crowd work videos. but I just want them to make sure they also work on actual material. You don't want to do a whole freaking, in my opinion, you don't do a whole show of crowd work.
Mhm.
Show the people that you actually sit down and write and work on material. Now, some comedians so good that the crowd work can lead into material. I kind of do it as well, but some aren't. So we just want them to put the work in.
Put it in. Wow. I'm really still taking them. I'm just taking it all in. And you said you were a little bit too deep for the no. This show is inspiration and motivation. It's called Not Your Average Therapy, but for me, therapy
I'm not
is
your average guy.
okay. It's joy, it's
I'm I'm
laughter, it's inspiration, and you bringing
I'm
all of
I'm
it.
I'm tripolar. It's I have three personalities. It's me, myself, and Guy. So yeah, you never know which one you're gonna get. So I'm not your average guy.
What's your sign? Since you talking about some tripolar,
I'm a
what's your?
Capricorn.
I was just
January
gonna
12th.
say you got to be an Earth sign. Wow. So you got a birthday coming up.
January 12th.
Happy birthday.
I
Oh
got my
wow.
I got my big birthday show coming up in LA. A Fat Tuesdays in LA, January 11th, with
Mm.
Cedric the Entertainer, Theo Hughley, Bubba Dub, Coco Brown, and hosted by myself in downtown LA at the Novo. Is going to be fantastic. So if anybody out there looking, you want to come to LA, and see this show, it's gonna be star studded.
Oh, I want to
Got it,
come.
LA Live. Got it, LA Live. So get your tickets for Tuesday, December 12th, and also January 11th, a Thursday, for the my 55th birthday bash. I'm not.
Oh,
That's the speed limit, but I'm not slowing down. I'm going way past 55.
I know that's right. Shaughnessy says I'll be there. I'm getting my tickets.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know that's right, Queen.
LA all day.
Oh my goodness, you in St. Louis right now, guys. So you better throw
I
that
know,
STL.
but I'm coming. But I'm back. Oh, STL get all the love. For sure. I wasn't even born here.
Really?
I was born in Cali. I lived in New York before St. Louis.
I
But
lived in
claims St.
New
Louis.
York. Let me find out you
I
my
live. I
spirit.
live in Jamaica, Queens, from age 4 to 7. I was born in Northern California, from birth to age 4. Went to New York, um, from age 4 to 7, and then been in St. Louis from 7 to 23.
Let me
So,
tell you mine.
uh, but I always claim St. Louis as my home.
What? Say so. Let me tell you mine. Born in Cali. Came here when I was about 7. Moved to New York at 21. I lived at Ozone Park, Queens.
Okay,
And I'm back in St. Louis. That's crazy. You my spirit twin.
similar stories. Yeah,
All right, before I let you go, you said one thing that really stole my heart is that you think of comics as healers, doctors, and artists. That
absolutely.
was when I knew Not Your Average Therapy. I had to have you on this platform. So I want to tell you thank you for being a healer, a doctor, an artist, a strong, successful Black man that's opening doors for so many people. Guy, you are amazing. And I want to give you your flowers today. And I want to thank you so
I
much
appreciate that.
for
No,
bringing
thank
it.
you for having me. This has been fun.
It's been fun. I'm going to have more fun on Tuesday.
Oh, Tuesday's gonna be out the chain. So if y'all think y'all gonna get, this deep on Tuesday, ain't gonna happen. You getting funny on Tuesday. That's when I told you, me, myself, and Guy. That's when the hat comes off and the mic goes in my hand, and oh, we gonna have a blast. Coco Brown, who is very funny. I love Coco Brown. She speaks to the women. She speaks for women. She's energetic, funny as all get out. Damon Williams from Chicago, man, he's funny. He's a vet in the game, just like I am, and Coco. And then Frank Lyles, a local guy, he was gonna come and tear it up as well. And yeah, it's gonna be fun. DJ Cut be there, and we got a Q&A afterwards. For those who want to come to the VA about me, we got that afterwards, man. But it came together so well, man. We had a lot of sponsors that really contributed to putting us on and doing more and more and more. So please come out, meet our sponsors, And yeah, let's just have a good damn time on Tuesday. It's a school night. Let's break the rules. Let's break the rules and have some fun. Let's break the
Well, your
rules.
first shot is
Julia,
on me. What you drinking? What you drinking Tuesday?
I'm vodka and tequila.
All
If I
right.
drink,
All
don't give me
right.
brown. If I drink brown, I'm gonna tear the whole damn club up.
You gonna
Vodka or
turn
tequila. Yeah, I'm turning up on Tuesday. I'm gonna tell you right now. Yes, send them drinks to the stage.
Oh man, well I'm gonna let you go. I know you're a busy man, and once again, I appreciate you. I will see you on Tuesday, and we're gonna have Coco
Yes.
Brown on the show later on today. So thank
Oh,
you
good.
for building your platform. Thank you for giving me the layup. I appreciate you guys.
All good, all good. Thank you so much. This is fun. Let's do it again sometime.
Sure will. Have a wonderful day. Bye.
I will. Thank you.
Woo! I am still floating, y'all. That was so therapeutic. Thank you so much for tuning in to Not Your Average Therapy Monday, the holiday special with Guy Torry. Yeah, I am floating. But be prepared to see me again later on today at 6:30 with Miss Coco Brown. Okay, she will be on the show. She is going through some send her your prayers right now. Her home flooded. She has to hop on a plane and get here. So just send her your prayers and pray with me that everything goes how it's supposed to. But that was awesome. Guy is awesome. The show is gonna be awesome. Don't forget this Tuesday. Okay, 8 p.m. Yeah, I'm telling you, if the tickets aren't already sold out, they're about to sell out. Go get your ticket right now and meet me there. Beat me there. Oh my God. Thank you for tuning in to Not Your Average Therapy Monday, the holiday edition. Bye.